Hello, my friends, and welcome to another fabulous episode of the AI Show Live Holiday Edition. All my kids are out of school, so I didn't have to drive them anywhere. So I didn't have to wake up early, but I wanted to because we're AI all the time. It's pretty amazing. This is the last show of the year. We will be taking a 2-week break for the holidays because, I don't know. The AI show next week is going to be on, for those who celebrate, Christmas Day, the 25th. And then the one after that, I think, is January 1st. So everyone on the Western Hemisphere will still be sleeping from whatever festivities they had on the new year. So we thought we'd take a hiatus. But I'll tell you about the show after that, the first show of the year. We are going to up our game, and we're going to have more guests, more fabulous stuff, more amazing things. So let's talk about what we're doing today. Let me share my screen. Boop. Where's everybody coming from? If you could, maybe share. Where everybody's from, just put in the chat. I'll just side of the eye, where everyone's coming from. Whilst I write down what we're going to be talking about today. Number 1, AI Doc Intelligence. AI Document Intelligence. So I bought a vocal processor a couple years ago, and I use it sometimes. That was one of those times. AI Document Intelligence with my friend Bema. And he's here, so he's gonna help us out if you have questions. We recorded this, I think, the other day. So for those watching, so what we do, if you're new to the show, at Microsoft we put out videos to help people understand what it is that we're doing with AI. Oh, I just dropped my mouse. And so we used to just do it live and cut it in front of you, but some people were like, can I record it beforehand and then show up? And then we play it and answer questions. That's what we do. Sometimes, though, with some guests, they're just like, we're doing it live. We're doing it live. Sometimes we do that. So the next episode in 2 weeks is live. Like, and sometimes we do it live, like with people like Sarah. She just shows up and we do a thing. Other times we spend extra time and make it pristine. And so that's number one. Number two, for the second half of the hour, if you watched Microsoft Ignite, I did a demo with Prompt Flow that had visual stuff in it. Now that GPT-4 Turbo with Vision has been released, I need to move it over to proper bits. So I think I was using like really old dev bits. So now I'm going to use really newer dev bits. So I'm going to do a visual prompt flow to newer bits. So that's what I'm doing for the second half of the show so that folks can stay. That is all live. You will see me do all this stuff live to the point where you'll be like, does this guy even know how to code?
No, I don't.
That was my vocal processor. I wanted to throw it in there for you. All right, so let's take a look at where everybody's coming from. I wanted to make sure folks could tell us where they're coming from. Okay, here we go. Louisiana, USA, welcome. Welcome, my friend. Gosh, I'm old. I need to move this up. Collins with a 1 and a 5. Smart. España. Viva Catalunya. Oh, wow. That is, I used to live in Spain. So that is a political statement that I'll let you research. All right. Welcome, Carl Jewell, España. I used to live in Spain. It's a delightful country. And the food is delicious. Pakistan, welcome, my friend. Toronto, Ontario, Canada. We have San Diego in the house, the land of my birth. California, welcome. North Carolina. Ivana de Argentina, bienvenida. Welcome. We also have Vancouver, British Columbia. From Houston, Barana, thank you. Hopefully I said your name right. Welcome. Carl, how people want to build easy, effective RAG data? Oh, that's a great question. Maybe let's talk about that. Let's save that. Ask again after the first half of the show, so that we can get to that. We have Mexico, Poland, welcome. India, Peter from the Netherlands. We have a wide array and swath of wonderful people here. Malaysia, Melbourne, lovely place. Montreal, Georgia. Singapore, welcome everybody. I'm so glad to have you, especially during the holidays. There's a lot of ways you can choose to spend your time, and spending with us we're just so thankful for that. So let me move my screen and let's bring up our guest. Bema, you ready? Thumbs up. What's up, handsome? How you doing?
Hello, nice to meet everybody. Nice to see all these people joining. Also, I didn't get the memo about the voice changer. I would have brought mine.
Do you have a vocal processor too?
No.
I wish I did. Man, we could have had a vocal processor off, and then really lost a lot of people watching. So how you doing, my friend? You can celebrate the holidays in any fun way?
Yeah, I'm gonna be staying with my family actually in San Diego. So I know I saw somebody in the chat from San Diego. So shout out San Diego,
land of my birth. Are you from San Diego too?
I wish I was, but no, I'm actually from Columbus, Ohio, so
Oh,
a lot worse weather, but
oh man,
enjoying
I
a little bit
remember
now.
I had to do a thing in Ohio once, and I landed middle of January. Stop by because we don't have these over here in the West. You know, there's waffle. Have you ever been to Waffle House?
Of course,
Of
of
course. But
course.
on the West Coast, there's no Waffle House west of Texas. I know it's insane. But anyways, I every time I go out west, or sorry, out east, I have to stop at a Waffle House. I get out. I don't know if it was Columbus. I don't know where I was. I was in Ohio, and I got out, and it was like minus like 20, and I was like, "What is this craziness?"
Sounds about right.
Yeah, and so then that's why again San Diego feels a lot better. All right, Bema, you ready to talk about AI Doc Intelligence? We recorded a thing, but you ready to play it? You okay to stay after to answer questions?
Of course, and I'd just like to point out that I did wear the same outfit in the recording because I was trying to keep the illusion, but you ruined it. But that's fine. That's fine. Um,
No, I I try to do that, but I forget, and so I'm like, oh, I got to wear the same shirt. But everybody does. Like this show is fun because we play the thing, but then people answer questions. Everyone knows like the whole show is live, but there's like a little section. But sometimes it isn't. You could have also said that you love the shirt and you have like 7 copies of it. Seven
that
copies.
is true. I did watch it in between wearing. I will say that.
7 copies. We're computer people, okay? Forgive us. All right, so let's play this. Take a look at this AI Doc Intelligence. You're not going to miss this episode of the AI Show where we talk all about elevating your document management with Azure AI Document Intelligence with my friend Bema. Make sure you tune in. Hello and welcome to this episode of the AI Show where we're talking all about elevating your document management with Azure AI Document Intelligence with my friend Bema. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Great. So tell us who you are and what you do.
Yes, I am a product manager on the Azure AI Document Intelligence team, and I'm super excited to show you what we've brought to our new public preview.
All right. So Azure AI Document Intelligence sounds new to me. It's not a product I've heard about. Can you fill me in?
Yes, you are exactly correct. So the first thing I'd actually like to discuss is the rename. We are now the product formerly known as Form Recognizer. We now go by Azure AI Document Intelligence, and we didn't just change the name because it looks better on paper. We made this change because we believe that the new name more accurately represents what our product does now and what we plan to do in the future. We don't just deal with forms, we deal with all types of styles of documents, both structured and unstructured. And our goal is to empower our customers to be able to do more with their documents and enable powerful document understanding use cases. And with our most recent public preview, we have taken another big step in continuing to reach this goal. So you will notice that in this new studio, this change has been already reflected.
Mm-hmm.
And that's both in the naming in the studio and also in our URL, which is now documentintelligence.ai.azure.com/studio.
Lovely.
So if you're ready, let's just hop in and look at what's new in this new preview.
Let's do it. So now that I know, and this is cool. Now I know that this is it used to be called Form Recognizer, but now it's Azure AI Document Intelligence. The Document Intelligence Studio has a new URI and everything. So what are some of the new things? Because we've done a lot of Form Recognizer, but I bet there's also new stuff in here as well.
There's a lot of new stuff. So let's start with layout actually. Awesome. So we have made many changes to the layout model to make working with LLMs easier for our customers. So layout now supports Office document types such as PowerPoint and Word documents, as well as different document types we already supported, including digital and scanned PDFs and all types of image files. So you now have more options than ever when uploading documents and can parse all this data with a single API call.
That's cool.
The Azure AI Document Intelligence layout model offers a comprehensive solution by providing advanced content extraction and document structure analysis capabilities. With this model, you can easily extract paragraphs, tables, titles, section headings, selection marks, font style, key value pairs, math formulas, QR codes, barcodes, reading order, so many things.
That is quite the list.
Yeah, quite the list indeed. And all of this in 309 printed languages and 12 handwritten languages. So if we just run this here, you'll
Hold on. You
see
said that you said that like you could basically extract anything in almost
exactly
any language because you said 309 language. You said that so fast. 309 languages.
309 printed languages and
Uh-huh.
12 handwritten languages. And we're constantly adding to this list.
That is cool. All right. So what are we looking at?
So what you see here is some new analyze options for layout. And what you'll notice here is that Markdown is a new output format style. So Markdown is extremely popular with web applications and LLM tooling. And so now if I select this
Mhm.
and I run the analysis, we will see that the output is now in Markdown, which is
Ooh.
extremely easy to integrate in other applications that use LLM technology.
Yeah, and this is really cool. I mean, not to interrupt you here, but this is really cool because I'm able to do this as an intermediate step. I'll put Markdown and put it directly into like an LLM call, for example, which is really cool.
Exactly. And this helps to enable really powerful scenarios with semantic chunking or like RAG scenarios. And in fact, I want to jump to a little application that we've made to actually show some of the power behind
Nice.
what this can enable. So what you'll see here is a little application that we spun up very quickly, but basically behind the scenes, we're using layout from Azure AI Document Intelligence. And we've used that to create semantic chunks that make it easier for the model to understand what it's looking at. So now the model has better insights into table structure. It understands sections better. As you can see, this is a press release for the fiscal year 24. Um, it understands a lot of context a lot better than if we were not running this with layout behind. So now because of this, it enables me to ask more specific questions. For example, let's ask this model, can you summarize what constant currency is?
So as this is executing, is this literally calling Azure AI Document Intelligence, pulling in the page? It's breaking it up too, and then it's putting that in? Is that what it's doing? Or maybe explain what it's doing. That way, I can get a sense.
Yeah, so if you look at the structure of what's been pulled out from this document, for example,
Uh
you'll
huh.
see that this it's able to recognize the different paragraphs, the different section headings, break them into different semantic chunks, and label them. So what this does when this data is given to a large language model,
Uh
is
huh.
able to use this semantic chunking in order to gain better understanding of exactly what is in the document.
That's
And this
cool.
helps because it also does things like maintains reading order. So all of these extra benefits allow the model to have a better understanding of exactly what it is looking at, and therefore give better results.
And that's what we're seeing in this application here that you're showing, where you're typing in questions and it's referring to the document.
Exactly, and
That's cool.
because it has such a deeper understanding of what is going on in the document, it's able to provide much better answers.
This is amazing. And these questions, like I said, it just it's it's just inject. This is cool stuff. Can you do another question I have is, can you do a little bit more, because there's other LLM technologies that people have been using. Can this integrate with that, or is it, do you have to just, is this application available, or how can I make something like this? That's a good
I am
question.
so glad that you mentioned that.
Okay.
So if you are familiar with a lot of LLM technology, you've probably heard of LangChain.
Oh yes.
LangChain is one of the most popular LLM orchestration tools used to create LLM applications. And we are soon going to have native support for Azure Document Intelligence as a document loader.
Ooh.
So, one of the really cool things I wanted to show off was all of this will be available soon. I promise you,
Mhm.
in the next week or so. But you'll be able to quickly, with a few lines of code, go in, set up the lang chain, and then you will be able to load and semantically split different chunks and ask questions using RAG pattern. And we're really excited to see how our customers are able to integrate LangChain and Azure OpenAI in order to do this process.
That's cool. Can we scroll up a little bit, because I thought I
Yeah.
saw Azure AI Search as well. Is that true?
Yes. So Azure AI Search is part of the packages that are included in this demo, but there are many different ways to do this. This is just one way to quickly get off the ground with using LangChain and Azure OpenAI to create these powerful workflows.
And this is cool because I don't know, if you're building LLM stuff, it's usually hard to like figure out how to do the chunking window, because it's like, do I take the first n characters, or how do I overlap? But what Azure AI Document Search is doing is it's semantically chunking the data into, for example, reasonable paragraphs, which I think is really cool. Am I getting this right?
So what we're doing is we're providing a very good basis to be used in semantic chunking
I see.
algorithms. So
Mhm.
the output of layout can be fed into these semantic chunking algorithms to provide very easy, um, basically good data to be used to create strong chunks. We all know in AI, if you put garbage in, you're going to get garbage out. So
It's true.
basically, what layout does is it makes sure that we provide high quality data to these semantic chunking algorithms so that when you are using them, you're getting good quality data out when you're implementing these RAG patterns. Cool. So that's the layout stuff, and we're super excited to see how people implement that into their workflows.
What else you got,
Now,
my friend?
one of my favorite things, one of the features I'm really excited about, I really want to show off is query fields. And let's
Ooh,
jump into the studio so
let's
I
take a
can
look.
show you how that works.
Okay.
So we're going to look at the invoice model here. One of the biggest complaints that we've gotten about our pre-built models is that sometimes they are not sufficient enough for some customer use cases. Now, don't get me wrong, the pre-built models are amazing. They require no training, they require no labeling, and customers are able to use them out of the box. But sometimes we have customers with specific use cases that need a little bit more than we offer. So let's take this UK invoice, for example. If I'm to run this, we're going to see all the fields that our customers are used to seeing in the invoice pre-built model. We
Mhm.
have things like customer address recipient, customer ID, all that good stuff. But let's say, for example, in this specific use case, we have a customer that needs more. So they need the campaign number. They need the sort code and let's say the account number. These fields are not fields that we extract out of the box because most of our customers don't need this information. But in the case that they do, we now have an answer for them, and that's query fields.
Ah, I see. So generally, the model is very good at a preset, like general stuff for invoices, but there may be specific things for invoices for your organization, for example, that you want to extract, and this is what this does.
Exactly.
Okay.
And we're never going to be able to cover all of those use cases out of the box, but
Mhm.
this creates a very easy way for customers to add this to their solution. So you'll notice this new pretty button right here called query field. So if I
Ooh.
select this, basically what we're going to do here is we are going to use camel case style naming to name the new fields that we want to extract. So for example, we said campaign was one that we wanted to extract. So I'm going to select that and then also sort code. So again, just using very simple camel case style naming. And then let's just add one last one. Let's say account number. Cool. So now when I just have to click that, I acknowledge that I am using query fields, save that. And now when I run this analysis again, what we should see is boom, campaign is extracted. We have sort code and we have
Nice.
account number. And all of this is beautifully integrated directly into the model to common names. So customers can now use these fields in their solution.
I mean, that's cool because I mean, there's got to be bound to be stuff that you want to pull out that you can totally just put that in there. Is that something you can do programmatically as well? You don't have to show us, but I bet is that something you can do like in the post request as well?
Exactly. That is exactly the case.
All right, those query fields were awesome because it enables folks to actually pull stuff exactly the stuff out that they want. What else you got to show us, my friend?
Yeah. So let's now jump into the custom classification model.
Okay.
Custom classification models basically allow customers to run a group of documents through a model and be able to instantly tell which documents are in there based off of classifications that they themselves have made.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool because then you can chain these things to pull out the right forms. Now, right forms, and then do other things. Like, for example, if one form has a custom field, then you would want to be able to know that's the right form, and then you could do the other form. And then the other question I had about this, because I heard about this before, does it? Can you is if there's a multi-page document that has multiple different kinds of forms in there, does that work as well?
yes. So you are able to classify whatever it is that you want to do. So let's say that we have a form that has three different types of forms in it, forms A, B, and C,
Uh
but
huh.
they're all one collective. If you wanted to split these, to split them into their respective parts, you could do this as well. You just have to train the classification model to represent document A, B, and C, and then it would work just like that.
All right. Can you show us how to do that?
Yeah. So The custom classification model has actually been expanded to different languages, and one of these is French. So I've set up a demo here just to show how this could work. I've actually pre-set this up just for the sake of time, but it's
Right.
extremely easy. All you have to do is upload a folder which has two different subfolders, one holding document type A in this case, which is medical healthcare type documents, and then folder B, which has professional service type documents. And then the service will actually split these for you automatically and use the folders as labels, which is why we have this nice stratification without having to do this manually.
That's cool.
Yeah. So once you're done with this, you're gonna hit train. And again, I've done this just for the sake of time because it does take a little bit of time. And what this is gonna do is it's just gonna generate labels and everything so that it understands what the document structure. And once you have a trained model,
Hmm.
you can go ahead and test it. So that's what we're gonna do now. We're going to go to test, and I'm going to browse for a file. And let's choose this sample file and run the analysis. And what we should see here is the model being able to tell which bucket this belongs to. And we do. So we have this being recognized as a professional service document.
And that's super cool because now uh, you're able to have any number of different kinds of documents. You're able to have document intelligence tell you what kind it is, maybe even break apart a multi-page document, and then you can process those things with custom fields for each kind of document. So you really got like a really powerful end-to-end solution.
Okay, I know I said that this was last thing, but we actually have I have one more thing that I want to go
Ooh,
over.
one
There's a
more thing.
couple of small updates that we've made to the service, if that's
Let's do it.
okay. Awesome. So the first thing that I want to point out is that with the read API, we've actually added support for handwritten extraction for the languages of Russian, Arabic, and Thai. We're
Ooh.
really excited about this. We know we have customers all over the world, and so these were some really highly requested languages, and we're excited to announce that those are now available for you to try in the studio today. Um, we also have new pre-built models. So US tax documents is an area that we've been investing a lot of resources into, and we're happy to announce that we now have available the US tax 1099 forms in all of
Ooh.
these variations as well. Again, these empower very powerful scenarios. These 1099 forms are things that people use for taxes every year. So we're really excited to see how our customers can use this to make their document intelligence processing even easier.
Yeah, and just in time for tax season too.
Exactly.
That's cool.
That was not a mistake.
Yes, sir.
Um, Along with this, in the invoice model, actually, we have added support for KVK number, which is a critical field in the Dutch locale. We've also added support for BPay information, which is critical in the Australian locale. And with these changes, we now more fully support these locales, and we hope that this will allow customers in those locales to have more robust solutions without having to rely on things like custom models.
That's
And
cool.
then the last update that we have here is in health insurance cards. We now have support for Medicare and Medicaid numbers built into the health insurance card model. And again, we just are very excited to see how this empowers customers to have more robust solutions that allow them to do more with their document intelligence needs.
Yeah, and this is cool because it could even be a picture. So you could build applications where, like, let's just say you're a medical place, and it's just like, here, just hold your card under our camera, and then boop. Azure AI Document Intelligence can make that sing. If I get it right, am I getting this right?
You are getting this right. And that is one of my favorite things about this service is how robust it is. Um, I even remember when I first joined the team, I drew out an invoice with my hand on plain white paper and it was able to extract all the information correctly. It's amazing how far this technology's come.
That is amazing. So this has been awesome. Where can people go to find out more?
Yes, so the first place to go would be Azure Document and the document, the Azure Document Intelligence Studio. Here you can find resources that will help you get up and started very quickly and allow you to test out all of our services right here in the studio. Another good place to go would be our documentation. We keep all the information up to date with what's coming, what's new. and there'd be another great place for you to check out what we have coming through the pipeline.
Well, this has been amazing, my friend. Thank you so much for spending some time with us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a
Awesome.
blast.
And also, thank you so much for watching and learning all about elevating your document management with Azure AI Document Intelligence here on the AI Show. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully, we'll see you next time. Take care. How about them apples? I forgot to. I did everything right except turn my volume up, my friend. How about them apples? That was fun, right?
Yeah, that was awesome. And if I may, I'd just like to address something in the chat. Janice Scu said no dark mode. I like to say I always use dark mode. Okay, I had to turn it off for the demo. I always use dark mode. Just had to
Mm.
throw that out there.
Yeah, they tell, and so there is dark mode, or as we say, dark mode. That's how we say it in our heads. There is dark mode. They tell us to use light mode when we're presenting, and I break that rule all the time. Okay, well, let's go to some questions. There was a ton of questions. You okay? Take some questions, my friend.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So the first question is, oh, hold on. There was more. There was okay. Are there any limitations on the document size? This is from Barish.
Yeah, so right now the limitation is 1,000 pages per document. If you have more than 1,000 page document, first of all, I'm sorry, but right now it is 1,000. If you have more than 1,000, you can split it into two calls. But right now the limit is 1,000 for a single call.
Oh my goodness! If you have more than 1,000 pages, Bema says, dude, you got some cool lights going on back there, my friend.
I just did realize that that was not planned, actually.
No, 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 no. It was totally planned. We want the sparklies to be there. All right. So here's another one from Mitsuru. Does it support sentence reconstruction when a paragraph is broken by a page break, for example?
Oh, so right now, I do not believe cross-page sentences are supported. We have had requests for this, so it's something that we are looking into. But I would say what I normally say is just try it out and see. But I do not believe it is supported right now. But I do know it's a request we've gotten.
And that's cool because as a PM, it's sometimes a thankless job. The way we know something is right is people will say to us, and I kid you not, they'll say, "But can it also do blah?" And that in my PM brain, I'm like, "Okay, we got the right thing." And now they're nitpicky. If we get to nitpicky stages, then we've got the right thing. So I feel like this is the right thing, and it's been the right thing for a long time. There's a ton of people using this stuff, right, Bema?
Oh, a lot of people and people using it in ways I never would have expected them to use it. And that has to be the coolest part when you see a customer use your product in a way you didn't think it could even
Mhm.
be used. So it's always great to see those
And
use
I
cases.
and I tell people, and no offense, I tell people like the best AI is the one that does the most boring stuff. Like imagine you are the one that has to like because we all go to the doctor, right? And every 6 months we got to fill out the same form, and I'm just like, can you just keep the form I filled out? It's the same one where you have to check all the boxes,
I'm
and like,
sorry,
oh,
is document intelligence not extremely
it's
interesting to you? This is my life's passion.
no,
But
it's
to each
actually the
their
most
own. To each
it's
their
the
own.
most useful AI ever because like look reading stuff off of paper is so ubiquitous across everything we do that it's the most exciting and also the most mundane but most useful. But I'm not going to say anything. All right, here's another one. Is there a maximum recommended document size for this kind of use?
So it's still that 1,000 pages. If you do have a larger document, it's going to take a longer period of time. So if you can break it into smaller chunks, and if sort of latency is something that you're worried about, then I'd say you probably definitely want to go to a smaller size. But 1,000 is the limit.
Yeah. Okay. But is there a recommended size for optimal, like obviously these models are awesome, but is there like a sweet spot for the size of the model?
I would say in my own personal testing, I'm sure there is an answer.
Hmm.
Um, but I would say in my own personal testing, once you go over about 20-ish pages, you start to see a little bit of latency. So I'd say keeping it under 20, you should see the the short amount of latency that we're expecting.
I love it. So here's another question because you talked about LangChain, but
Mhm.
here's a question from Kuda. How about semantic kernel support? It's all the same thing, right? You could use semantic kernel LangChain. What say you?
So right now, the integration that we have is directly with LangChain.
Mhm.
More to come, hopefully. Fingers crossed. But this is the direct integration that we have now. But keep your eyes peeled for more integrations in the future.
I love it. But I mean, if you want to use semantic kernel in general, you could totally use semantic kernel and write code and do whatever you want. So,
Exactly.
because in the end, it's just an API call, right?
Yeah. And so yeah.
Here's one question that we always get asked on the AI show. And Bema, this is an important one. Is there a risk that the AI software will grow and become self aware? No.
Well, in my case, if my AI software became sentient and started processing all my documents, I'd find that pretty cool. So over here, I think we're good. Now, once
It's-
they start getting their own bodies, I was a
yeah.
little more concerned. But hey,
All of
do
us.
my documents for me.
But then
I
they'll be processing our documents.
exactly.
Yeah, so it's okay. Just
I'm perfectly fine with that.
point it at the mail and all the junk mail that we get. Is, can you process these documents for me? And it's like, yes. It has like a shredder in its mouth or something. I don't know. This got weird. Maybe we should move on. Here's another question. Do you know when AI will be integrated in Visual Studio? That's a good question. It already is if you look at Copilot. I think GitHub Copilot is integrated in Visual Studio already, right?
Yeah, yeah. So it should be there. But for more information on that, you're gonna have to ask the Visual Studio team.
That's right. Yeah, let's
Have
ask
to
them.
keep that under lock and key.
Here's my good friend Lynn. She is one of our fantastic researchers here on at not the AI show, but just the product group. Is ingesting document for index creation? Is it a one time thing, or does it also create a persistent index? That's a good question.
So anything that we process, we do not hold on to. So you're gonna have to hold any information that we process and provide to you on your side. This is more of like a regulatory thing. We don't want to hold any personal data, so we just give you the data and then you do all the magic with it. So if there's an index that you want to keep, you're gonna have to store that, and preferably some Azure Blob storage,
Yeah,
something like that.
or something, or Azure AI Search. There you go. So this is just it's a transient thing, just to get because the thing about this that we are learning, Bem, and you know this too, is that building robust AI applications that use LLMs, in particular with documents that have been chunked, requires a pretty sophisticated pipeline of you managing your data, so that the LLM can so that the search can work and the LLM can do the thing, and it's just what say you?
I agree. Plus
Yes,
one.
it's like yes.
Yes.
All right. Here's another. He already answered this question. Will you provide a same semantic chunking as these are stuff to come? He's saying watch the space. Here's another one. Is this incorporated with Microsoft Dynamics 365 or planning to incorporate it to fill out Dynamics 365 fields? Oh,
Yeah, so we work really closely with Dynamics 365, and they normally, I want to say, take 1 to 2 months to come to parity with what we have after we GA a service.
oh.
So expect them to be implementing similar capabilities in 1 to 2 months after we GA. So this is a preview, but once we hit GA, expect them to follow soon after.
Here's an interesting experiment, a thought experiment. This appears basically a switch from a MySQL DB setup to an online on-the-fly fix for cloud computers. It's basically like your papers have information in them, so why not use the information in a structured way, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's sort of the beauty of having these things available on the cloud. Um, it's very convenient.
Carl was like, the disco lights are the best. He turned them off though. He's trying to be professional.
I didn't want to distract from the
This
document intelligence.
this is not the kind of show we run here. We're not professionals here. Here's another one. I noticed that the paragraph class has regions that could define itself across different pages. So I thought maybe, okay, that's the gentleman that did the try it out.
Yeah,
Because the chunking size is like a more of like an art than a science, as far as I know. Here's another one. This is an interesting question. Maybe you don't have to show us code or anything, but can you guide us how we can easily add a custom skill set search as specific date finder on page counter or whatever? So it turns out, and I think I know the answer to this one. When it comes to Azure AI Search, you can build specific skills that take information, and one of those skills can be AI document intelligence. Is that right, Bema?
that is my understanding. So I'm a little bit confused as to what exactly the question is here.
Yeah, I am too, but I wanted to go higher level and be like, you can use AI document intelligence in a search pipeline using a skill. And that's something that you can do. In fact, the one of the first demos I ever did, and this is a true story, with it used to be called cognitive search, is I used something formerly called form recognizer as a skill to ingest like a ton of PDFs, and it basically reconstructed our entire order system that I fat finger deleted. That's the story I did. And it's really funny. It was like there used to be there was something called the Ignite tour, and I went out and I was like, I deleted my database. Oh no, what will we do? Well, we have all the PDFs, and it basically, with all the orders, it reconstructed the entire database.
Wow.
If you think about it, you totally could do with AI document intelligence, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and someone is saying, I didn't know until now that I must get a voice processor. Indeed.
Yeah, me either. You
Mm.
would think that my co-host would let me know that voice
Yeah,
changers was a
I'm
thing,
letting
but
you know live because I wanted the reaction to be authentic.
the Echo is my favorite, I must say.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. Like I can have like a robot voice. Oh,
That's cool.
yeah.
That's cool.
I'd use it sometimes. That was out of context, my usage there, but that's okay. So, Bema, any last things you want to add about AI document intelligence before we let you go and I move on to the next thing?
I'm just we're really excited for everybody to try it out. I saw a comment about the Lang chain sort of demo. That there will be a blog post out later this week about that, so have all the instructions for you to try that out. But yeah, just thank you guys for joining. I'm really excited for you guys to try this out, and please let us know everything you want to add to the service. We're constantly improving it. So yeah,
Correct. All right, my friend. We'll see you later. I put down here the links. If you want to go to AI Document Intelligence, just go to aka.ms, AI Doc Intelligence. And then if you want to look at some of the documentation, you go to AI Doc Intelligence Docs to that for all the goodness there. And hopefully, Bema will have you on next time when we have more good stuff to show. Does that
and
work
I'll
for
have
you?
my voice changer ready.
Nice. Nice. But leave the lights on, okay? All right, buddy. We'll see you soon. All right, my friends. That was Bema. A delightful human being. All right, so the next thing I promised to do was this goodness here. Number two. No, I didn't. No, hand mine's out of the potty. I was not going to do number two. I was going to do number two here. Visual prompt flow with the newer bit. So let's open this up. Let me. Oh, good. I'm glad I. Because sometimes I open the project and it's like wrong thing. Okay. All right, let me make sure my environment variable is not open. So let's put this here. So just a reminder, I made a prompt flow a long time ago. A long time ago, a prompt flow that takes an image. What's new here? Oh, reload. A prompt flow that takes an image, and I broke it because it's new. So let's spend some time for those that aren't familiar with prompt flow. Prompt flow is a low-level declarative orchestrator for creating LLM inspired apps. Inspired or using. Okay. And the way it works is there is this thing called a flow.dag. And this flow.dag basically tells it's a declarative way of saying this is all the stuff you do. We recognize that this is a pain in the tuchus to edit. And so there is a nice little visual editor that tells you what to do. And the thing that happened with me is that this particular node here broke on me because I needed to get a new thing. So let me show you. So effectively, what this does is this takes an image and looks like the image is here. Data. iStock 14094 small. This image, and what it does is it basically looks at the picture. I say I want all these things, and then the prompt flow decides what to show me. So let me run this here in local mode here. So the first thing it does is it goes to the image and it processes the image and decides, is this image even an image? Like if it's not big enough, don't even look at it. Right. And if it is big enough, it processes the image. If it isn't, then it goes and it says, "Oh, it's not an image. So let's do this." I do a prompt and run it through GPT-3.5 Turbo. You are a Contoso Outdoors product assistant who helps users formulate great search queries based upon their questions. Blah blah blah. And then it formats stuff in the output. Use these categories for do not. If you don't have any suggestions, please return the following. So I'm like literally coding with English. By the way, I pontificate here for a second. One of the reasons why I like prompt flow, and all the other orchestrators are great, like LangChain, Semantic Kernel, no beef. But one of the reasons I like prompt flow is because it puts the prompt at the center of all the work. There's no way to get around writing your own prompt. There's no way. Sorry, people are pinging me. It's like the Monday when Microsoft goes to sleep, but there's still work to be done, and so people ping us. So notice that this is the actual asset that I think is the most important. The actual prompt. Let me make this a little bigger so you can see it. And this is the actual prompt. So this is what the prompt looks like when it does not get an image. But when it does get an image, then I use this prompt here. And this prompt is, you are the Contoso Outdoors reviewer who looks for, let me, how do we word wrap here? Word wrap. You are the Contoso Outdoors reviewer who looks for all possible products and a submitted image. These products should be listed in a way that can blah, 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 blah. Do not include things, blah, blah, blah. An example might be like this. Oh, this might be in the wrong spot. This should be here. Oops. No, this is not. This is okay. I might have to play around, but again, this is the prompt. But the difference between a multimodal prompt and a regular prompt is that in the multimodal prompt we have this image. This should be changed to customer image. Okay. So what I've done is I've hoisted the customer image into the system message. We got to get some colorizers for this. Okay, cool. So you can see this is the customer image, and then it goes through there. So looks like in this case, the image was real. So the image went through here. Once the image goes through here, then we do the generate embeddings. And the generate embeddings for each of the return things, what it does is it creates a search embedding. And by the way, the reason why prompt flow is awesome too is because you can actually see the output. So here's the output of the thing, and this is the picture. If you remember, let's split right. Let's go to the flow.dag here, so you can remember that the output of this thing is this. So a yellow dome camping tent, a foldable, portable, folding, and collapsible camping table. So these are the things that it found in the picture. And this is why I like prompt flow. It's really nice for debugging. Okay, so that's what it found. Then when we generate the embeddings for each of those three things, we actually create a vector embedding. And so you saw the code for the generate embedding. Notice I'm taking Azure OpenAI. And the reason why I'm using this code is because I wanted to do an embedding in one shot. What does that mean? I wanted to pass a list of things so that all the embeddings happen at once. And then you can see I do an embedding and then I do a zip into a dictionary. Okay. Okay. Cool. I did not know you could click on that. That's handy. But anyways, here's the output, and the output, as you would expect, were here are the sets of embeddings. So for the yellow dome camping tent, I would hopefully input output. Let's do that. So for the yellow dome camping tent, you'll see that this is the embedding. For the foldable folding chair, you'll see this is the embedding. And then for the collapsible camping table, this is the embedding. So notice that the imager, the thing with the multimodal GPT-4 Turbo with Vision, it extracts a JSON object that then I parse and then push into a search index. I do the embeddings. I vectorize it and then I do the embeddings. Okay, so let's close this and we'll look at the retrieve products. The retrieve products, hey, I can click this thing now. The retrieve products takes those items and it does a search for each one of them, and then it removes the duplicates. And that's it. And so now when you go to the DAG for the retrieve products, you're going to see the output is here's the requests, a yellow dome camping tent, a portable coma, and here are the products. Pretty cool, right? So now you can see, like, as you're building these things, the reason why I love prompt flow between you, me, and the wall is because it lets me see exactly what is going on in the flow of things. So you're able to actually trace the flow of the data from the top all the way to the bottom. So that's what this is. Okay, cool. So now that we've retrieved the products, we're going to do a customer prompt. And if you look at this, the customer prompt looks like this. So let's view here, and then let's do a word wrap. This is the new LLM task that goes into GPT-3.5 Turbo, and then it also looks at like if it used an image, then it used an image. Otherwise, don't. Do you see? And so this is using Jinja 2 for those that are wondering. And Jinja 2, let me open a browser. A browser. Jinja 2 is effectively just a prompt, a template engine for Python. See, you can do all of this stuff. Jinja is a modern design. Hold on, let's sell it a little bit here. Let's sell it a little bit. Jinja is a modern and designer-friendly templating language for Python modeled after Django templates. It is fast, widely used, and secure with the optional sandbox template execution environment. Get yours today. That was it. That was the thing. So everything that works in Jinja will work for this template thing because it's basically just a Jinja template. Cool beans. So in this case, notice that there's a lot of if else's if it's used an image. Otherwise, this is the actual thing, right? As an AI agent for the Condoso Outdoor Retail, and the cool thing is you can look at this. You can look at this thing, and see what output it had, which is really cool. There you go. And then finally, this is the LLM response. In the LLM response, there's just one final thing where I have the prompt text and then the user question, and then I for item role whatever. Okay, and so now the output is this thing. This is the output. Is this the output? View word wrap. Oh, there it is. Awesome. I found some great products that match your requests. For the Yellow Dome camping tent, I suggest the Trailmaster. See, that is cool. To pair with your tent, I suggest the Trekmaster camping chair. And last but not least, add a collapsible base camp folding table so you can enjoy meals together. And don't forget, creating an account allows you to track your orders, save your payment, and shipping info, and even provide access to the internet. It's a no-brainer, for sure. But here's the other thing that I did not show you, and this is what makes PromptFlow absolutely delightful. Notice that I have a customer ID, and this customer ID thing, if it's 0, then it just does nothing. And so, but if it isn't 0, it gets a customer number. It gets a customer. And this is the context, and it gets active user. So, for example, the input is a customer, and this is the customer information. So this gets swatted in. But here's the cool thing. Let me change the actual customer to customer number, let's say 4. And let me run it again. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't, everyone cross your fingers and toes. Here we go. It's happening. Look, it's happening. It's happening. There we go. Okay. So this whole other thing is exactly the same. Like, for example, even if I go to open a new tab, you can see, oh, wow, it found more stuff. Green and gray. What did I change something up here? What did I change? Green and gray. It found the wrong things. Ugh, ugh, ugh. Let me look at the output again. Waterproof yellow rain jacket. How did it find that? Wait a minute. I'm gonna run this again. Let me make sure. Data small. Customer ID number 4. I need to do some prompt engineering because I have not tested that side of the thing yet. Okay, so let us run this run one more time, and let's hopefully see if it finds the right things. So let's go to this node right here because this is the one that takes the longest. It takes 10 seconds every time. By the way, keep your questions coming. I forgot to look for questions. Here we go. Let's see what the output is of this thing. Open a new tab. Wow, it found a lot of extra stuff. Black hiking backpack? Where did it find all this stuff? I don't like that. I don't like that. Let's change it because we can. Use the following for your assessment. Cool. Please return only the most prominent, in the image. They are not prominent. Include at most how many? Yeah, there you go. We're letting the AI tell us what to do. I'm telling the AI the AI will tell us what to do. Okay, so now let's run it and let's see if this makes it a little bit better. By the way, this is what prompt engineering is. Because I've actually never tried this side of the prompt flow that pulls a customer in. And so something might be happening. All right, so let's open portable gas gill. Did I do some? Maybe there's something wrong. Maybe it needs to be like this image. Maybe that broke it. But that seems weird to me that it would do that. Let's do it again. Run in standard mode. Okay, here we go. Output of the LLM here. Oh man, it is almost time for the walk-off music. So let's put this on. Okay, let's take a look at the output now here to see. Yeah, looks like it needed that. Maybe there's a parser in the back for that. I'll have to ask about that because that feels like a bug. By the way, let me go back. I don't think I need to change this. Let me just do this because I think this is an important instruction. So let's do this and let's run it one more time. Boop. By the way, isn't it cool that like we found an error in a prompt? We found the return thing because usually, like I said, when you're running these things with orchestrators that are higher level, it's hard to know what's going on because they do the prompt for you. But this doesn't. You have to do it yourself. So let's open the. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Now that we've added the customer information, though, notice that the customer lookup has Sarah Lee in there, right? And the last couple of things that she's purchased: sleeping bag and a tent. Okay. So now those things, the retrieved products, you can see brings all the stuff. And now when it goes into the LLM, let's see what the output is. Take a look at this. Pretty cool. You are a platinum member at Contoso. That's cool. So let's open this in a new tab here so you can see. View, and let's word wrap. This is cool, right? Hi, Sarah. Because remember before it was like suggesting that they should join, but now it's like, oh, Sarah. After looking at things, I recommend the following products that will definitely make it. This is, I mean, it's really cool. So notice that this is now a multimodal LLM, and next time we're going to be doing a little bit more with this in the AI Studio. But I wanted to get this up and rolling. Also, I need to get the end card here for the triangles. Download. The next AI show is not until. Let me look at the calendar here. It's not until the first week of January. Let me look at the calendar. Gotta look at my calendar. Let me close this here. And my calendar says that the next AI show is going to be on January 8th. Sneak peek here. Sneak peek. Join us Monday, January 8th for our live stream, 8:30 a.m. Pacific. Intro to Type Chat with the man himself, Anders Halsberg. Delightful person. So we'll be talking to Anders Halsberg. And then we'll do multimodal chat with Prompt Flow and GPT-4 Turbo with Vision inside of Azure AI Studio. The stuff I showed you today, but we're going to move it up to the Azure AI Studio. So hopefully it works. So that is the next AI show. Same bat time. Go to aka.ms/AI show live to get to the next one. We'll put that one up soon. But as always, a privilege and a pleasure to be with every one of you. Next time on the AI show, make sure you tune in. Anders is going to come. And hopefully you have a restful and wonderful holiday. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time on the AI show live. Take care.